It's interesting. Some people say, how did we end the book of Numbers in such a, we were at the edge of the promised land and we we hadn't entered it yet. And I remember our rabbi saying that it's because what's important in our lives is the journey, not the destination. And so often we forget that. Sometimes we're so aimed at the goal that all we think of is where we're going, and we forget to enjoy the journey along the way. And I think I'm definitely guilty of that sometimes, being such a D and directed. Thank you, Alejandro. There's so much that we can learn from this portion. And one of the most important things for me is that our word is our bond. That's what it spoke about in the vows, that our word represents our name, our reputation, and ultimately we represent him. When we don't keep our word, it's such a poor reflection on our character. I remember when Rabbi Yashuv said, "Let your yes be yes, and your no be no," because anything else from this comes from evil. And it showed me also that the young women at that time had the right to make vows. God did everything to protect women, especially young women who still were at home and under their father's protection and or under their husband's protection. And then it speaks about Gad, Reuben, and the half tribe of Manasseh, who didn't want to enter the land. All they saw was the lush land on this side of the Jordan. They didn't want to go in. And it was like they were putting themselves first. And instead of saying, what would God want from us? And when the Assyrians came in, they were the first tribes that were taken into captivity, that were attacked. So there are consequences for the decisions that we make. And on Wednesday night, when we held our little group, I had found a map, because the last verses here speak about the size of the land of Israel that God actually meant it to be. And it's huge in comparison to what we have now. And I found a map, and it takes in a lot of the Arab countries that today do not belong to Israel. So it's really a beautiful portion, a lot for us to learn from this. Does anybody have anything that they want to comment on this
Yeah.
parasha? Yes, Miriam.
Um, I also find it absolutely amazing that Gad and Reuben, after all this time and all the promises given about the land, chose to stay outside the land. I mean, they met the conditions of going to war, etc. But I find that it's just absolutely amazing. It's like, I don't know, it's like refusing water in the desert because there's lemonade in another country. But I don't know, I can't even think of a good example. But it's so overwhelming to me that that could be the case.
But we do that all the time.
Oops, sorry. I'm sorry for the phone. I should have taken it off the hook. Sorry, excuse me.
Oh, okay. So
I'll finish too.
you want, okay. It reminded me actually of the story of Lot, when they had an argument, Abram and Lot, about because they had so much cattle, and Lot chose the best of the land, and he went to a place that really God wouldn't have wanted him to go, to Sodom. And so his own choice, when we choose because of our own lusts, our own desires, instead of stepping back and saying, okay, what does really God want from me? And we do that all the time
No,
in our
that I
lives.
agree with, but what I was saying, and I agree with you, but I got the feeling, yeah, it is that they chose what they saw they were the lust of their, all the lush land, etc. But all that preparation and all those years in the desert, you would think that they would be dying to go to that land. Look how God led them there. It's like, and they, I just can't. It's amazing. It's really unbelievable. But God honored them, and he made some conditions, and they promised to keep them. And yeah, I was just amazed at that. Thank you, Alejandro, by the way, for the beautiful message.
But how often are we offered something that's so much better than what we have, but we prefer to stay exactly where
Oh
we
no,
are.
I know. I'm not saying that I'm above that. It was just maybe I'm looking at it from a different angle. Not even that it was selfish, but that how could they be blind and not see that after 40 years or whatever they're being led into the land of milk and honey?
I know.
It's like
But it
it's
wasn't then. It
no,
wasn't
no,
the
I know.
land of
You know
milk
what?
and
I know
honey.
all the answers.
Yeah, yeah,
I guess I'm amazed, and I we all do it ourselves, and I do
yeah.
it myself. But when
It's
you
our
see it,
nature.
because we're seeing it after the fact, if somebody were to write a story of my life and look at it after the fact, they would see the same thing. I know, but it's amazing to me. As far as the vows go, the vows. I was thinking about that. I remember something in the New Covenant, the New Testament, whatever you want to call it, where Shaul is saying at one point to about men and women and the disobedience in the Garden of Eden and all that, and something to the effect that women's I don't know, maybe did something worse or their disobedience was worth. I don't know, but whatever it is, that whole thing about vows and like it just made me think like what's going on there. We remember we were talking a bit about it, but it's something very mysterious. It's a hawk or whatever. The idea that how the husband or the father can annul the vow. It's just all this dedication. So much was written about the vow, females and vows. So there's something about it that's it's not you can't just give a simple answer to that. There's something to me that's in the very nature of our existence. We could come up with all sorts of answers, but anyway, I find that interesting.
Yeah, what do you say about that, Alejandro?
I think that someone's see the attitude the Ruben and Gad, like the people of Ruben and Gad, like something negative. But I don't think in that way. When maybe when the Torah say that Moses was angry about that, it's no in the we cannot see that like he was furious about that because no forget that the Torah say that Moshe was the most humble man of the earth. So any attitude from Moses that is like angry, that's little because he was so humble that any hungry attitude we can say that is great. But I saw that the Moses only want to show to the Reuben and Gad children that that maybe they be continue to the all the congregation because need people to conquer the land. So the request about the land that they gave to Moses was for me was valid, was not something but because they was bad intentions, only because they want to protect her cattle and her families. I see that in that way. But Moses, like the leader, showed them that we need your service. We need your all the congregation to conquer the land. But that's why I say that they approach Moses in the sense that they understand that Moses say to them, and they say, okay, not only we are going with you, but we are going in the front. For me, is in that way. I see it in that way.
Do you know if that land that where they stayed, Gad, Reuben, and the half tribe of Manasseh, is that included in the final Israel in the end? Do you know, Mauricio or Alejandro?
I think that is included. Yes.
Yes, it's included in the when you see a map, it goes and up to Euphrates River, right?
Yes.
So it's included.
Okay.
And thank you, Alejandro. I really love, especially the way that you make a point about the mercy of God, the goodness that God shows to Israel during these 42 journals around the wilderness. I really love because sometimes I think it's really important that when you go to a place and you say, okay, I am here right now, sometimes God allows us to see behind in the past how was our journey, and how today we are here because of his mercy. And this is something about to give thanks, to show gratitude to God. And it's interesting, all these passages about the places they were. And it's exactly like you said, Matot comes from the the road, and how the road flourish in the desert is really nice, and we can see the mercy of God. um and thanks to this mercy we are standing here, and it's something that we need to continually remembering us. Hey, I am here because God is good. That's so beautiful, that's so powerful. um and in regarding this passage about God and the half tribe and Reuben of Menashe, it is something really um, that I see. Yeah, I'm agree with you that Moses was not upset with these tribes because of the petition. Okay, but in the Torah, it says, I don't know if you can show something, Peggy, is in the chapter 32, verse 1. Okay, and this is something that that makes the point here, and I see how the Torah connects with the bonds. Okay, because it says, now the children of Reuben and the children of Gad have very great multitude of cattle, and this is so important because it shows that this um, this was very important for them, the economic position. They had a lot. Okay, so the heart of these people was on the cattle. Okay, and Moses is trying, to say, okay, the cattle is important, but it's most important to conquer the land. Okay, and Moses, according to some sages, they said that he was like remembering what happened with the 12 scouts. Okay, a report in a decision made by these guys, uh, happened that Israel did not enter to the land. And now it's happening again, something not the same, but something that seems to happen again. Okay, and so and now it's interesting how Moses says, well, now in says always in chapter 32, verse 1, it says, and when they saw, so they have you know, an asset, and now they saw the opportunity. Okay, and this word "saw" is so important because they didn't know about this land before. So when they saw, they said, "Oh, this is the land we want to be." Okay, and then they approached to Reuben and then to Eleazar. Okay, and then they say, "Okay, the land is good, but we want to stay here." So in some way, it's like when you give a gift to a kid, okay, and the kid do not accept the gift, okay. As father, and he said, I would rather this, and so, and you know what is best for them, okay. So I'm gonna connect something in the future. Then to Moses, what happened is that is so important, okay, that I want to show. Um, okay, verse 16. Okay, after they talk to Moses, we come to this verse. And they came near unto him and said, we will build sheepfolds here for our cattle and cities for our little ones. So in this verse, you can see where was their heart. They put first the cattle, the instead of the little ones that are their kids. So and so it's interesting that if we connect this with what Yeshua said, okay, you talk according to what is in your heart, okay. So what's in the mind of Reuben and all these tribes was obviously the money, okay. Is more important the money than the family, and it's something that today we can see daily, okay. It's incredible how many families are destroyed because of this way of thinking, okay. And then what verse 20
Hold on.
in yep, verse 20 um okay, and Moses said to them, if ye will do this thing, if ye will arm yourself to go before the Lord to the war, and every armed man of you will pass over the Jordan before the Lord, and then he hath driven out his enemy before him, and the lads to do, etc. Then in the verse 22 and verse 23, Moses is bound these tribes. And if we connect to the first portion of this parasha, it says that the men, when they talk, they get tied because of the tongue. Okay, the soul and everything is tied. So in these two verses, is they are tying themselves. Okay, to say, okay, we will do that and we will return to here, but we will help our brothers to conquer the land. So it's connecting, and it's beautiful because the Torah is giving you first the law, and then gives you, okay, the choice. Okay, And now they have the choice, and they knew what they were doing because they were making a vow. Okay, and then in Moses, it's interesting how he puts the order. It says, build your cities for your little ones and folds for your sheep,
Right.
and do that which had proceeded out of your mouth. So here is connecting two beautiful things. One, the priorities. Priorities is not the cattle. Priority are your little ones.
Wow.
And then he's saying, okay, now you get a bow before God. Okay. So according to what we read at the beginning of this portion, now you are tied. Okay. So it's connected. And it's interesting that I don't know if you can put the consequences of looking for this is First Chronics or Chronicle in First Chronicles, yeah, 5:26. Um, 5:26. It's interesting how this decision made without the protection. God allows them,
Right.
obviously, because he gave us free will, but the consequences are here.
Right.
Okay. It says, and the God of Israel stirred up the spirit of Pul, king of Assyria. Okay. And the spirit of Tiglath-Pilesner, king of Assyria. And they carried them away, even the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half tribe of Manasseh, and brought them unto Halah harbor and Hara, and to the river of Gazan, and to this day. So they did not accept the land because in a short time was a very good choice, a very good decision, okay, for their convenience. But I don't know, probably 400 years later, the consequences of that decision really destroyed these tribes. And that made me think, okay, God allow me to do sometimes things, but I don't know if the consequences of my choice will affect the future of my kids.
Right.
Because I'm thinking more in the cattle than in my little ones.
Right.
And so so it's really beautiful because God is so merciful, and I really love how you put this, Alejandro. He is overseeing us every moment, every day. Uh, you know, I believe that we are not really aware sometimes about the love, the really love that God has for us. Eh, 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 And, and I can see that because, for example, right now my aunt is between life and death, right? From like 8 days ago. Um, and I went on this week to see her, and I just went to look at her, and when I saw her, I was looking like a body without life.
Right.
Honestly, it was very shocking for me because I had another remembrance about her, and then I just said, "Oh God, be merciful about her, about my father, because he's feeling so bad. My father is the firstborn, and my aunt is the second. So uh, I just had the opportunity uh, with all this family. They are Christians, obviously. But I just start to to talk to her, and I start to like brush the hair with my hand, um, and I start to read some psalms, and I start to talk to her with a love that I honestly I don't know from I don't know where it came from.
Wow.
Okay, so it was like the love of God talking. Okay,
Mm.
to her. And when I finish, I don't know, after 45 minutes probably, um, everybody in the room says, "Oh, she recovered the color,"
Wow.
and the lips were against uh, red, and all the face is shining.
Wow.
It's like she returns to life in some way, and I just feel that this is the motor of our life, that the love that God have for all of us. This give us life, okay? Because if it's not for His mercy, who could be a stand before God and before everything?
Right.
He
Wow.
gives life to everything. So and for me, this is so important, that we don't forget His love, His kindness. And today, while the Barrels family were making the blessing of Aaron, I just felt the love of God,
Wow.
because I just felt that, oh, God is so merciful, and He remembered me. Uh, how He just doesn't want to forgive me. Okay, that's
Forgive
the
or
point.
forget?
No, forget me. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, forget me. Um, it's so who I am, who am I to be remembered by God. So
Amazing.
it's amazing,
I know.
in how God protect and care about everyone, even though we don't see it, because we can only see what is happening today. But if our eyes are open, then we will see that, like in these 42 different journeys of Israel, it's so important that in these 40 years, God's um, like fire, and God, like, how do you say, cloud, okay, were there. Okay, He was there every moment, and in the only moment he left them, they just start to see the snakes that you know that bites them, and so but honestly, we sometimes we don't be aware about what is happening around us
Right.
because of His love, and we cannot see. For example, I don't know, um I can tell you, I don't know how many times something happened. For example, today in the morning, to give you an example, I was in the uh, breakfast, and then there was an explosion around here in my close to my house. An electric, I don't know how to say, transformador eléctrico.
A
Is
transformer, electric
a
transformer.
electrical, just explode,
Wow.
and I saw something lighting inside um, the table, and I just fall, and then uh, I just said, "Okay, God is protecting me." Okay, things like that. It's amazing His love, and when we see His love, honestly, it fills us and return the joy, and it's something that I cannot understand. Okay, because sometimes people ask me why you are so happy, and I say, "Oh, no, I don't know exactly, but I feel the protection of God, and it's so nice. So I really love the mercy of God. I really love how you said all regarding His love.
Yeah, it's amazing when we look at our own journeys, because each one of the stages where our people were something for them to remember what they had done, or how God was with them, or how He wasn't with them. And I think of all the stages, the journeys in my own life where I didn't feel His protection and His love, and I didn't know how to receive that kind of thing. And even now, sometimes it's just really hard to know just how much He's with us every single day. He never leaves us. He never forsakes us. It's beautiful. It's really amazing. It's such a good message. These Torah portions are so wonderful for our lives. Holly, who is that with you? Who's that big boy?
This is Ruben with me.
No way. That's not little Reuben. He's a big boy now. What happened?
We're all grown up.
Oh my goodness. You're growing up too fast.
No, not like me yet. He's
I have a
6.
cousin named Ruben too.
What did you say, Baruch?
I have a cousin who's named Ruben too. Is the
Yeah,
one
it's a good name.
don't like where I come.
Yeah? Reuben is in the Bible. Do you know that, eh? Reuben? Yeah.
He was the last one of his family. If he didn't get married, he couldn't continue his name. Give my cousin 4 sons.
Wow. Where is Isaac today?
He's in the kitchen. I think he's having some lunch.
Yeah? Yeah, I guess it's time for lunch for everybody. So anyway, does anybody have anything else they would like to add? It was, hi, Ron. Oh, Rhonda got her haircut. Very nice.
Rhonda.
Hi.
How's it coming, Rhonda? Slow but sure?
Yeah, it's slow but sure. I'm here by myself this week. David took
Oh, yeah,
Shashi.
David left. Yeah.
Yeah, they left this morning.
Wow.
Dog with them too.
Pardon?
They took the dog with them too.
Oh no, I'm here stuck with her.
Are you stuck with her, or are you enjoying to be with her?
Do you when you come to the dog, you have an open hand? That's why she bites you.
No, it's natural for that type of dog to nip.
Yeah, because of how where she was before they got her, the people slapped with an open hand. But if you
No, that's not the
No,
case.
that's not the case, Brian. Not in this
She's
case.
Brian, she's teething.
eating,
And she's a herding dog.
She's a
Rhonda,
herding.
Peggy told you about who we bumped into, some people who had a dog like that,
Yeah.
and that they suddenly, like one day she just stopped, he or she just stopped. So it's gonna stop.
but if you approach with a fist, she don't see open hands. So
No, it's not that, Brian. Not in this case. Rhonda doesn't show her fist very often. She's a peacemaker.
they've been smacked.
Yeah. No, she was only 2 weeks old, Brian, when they got her, or a few weeks old. So
She was 8 weeks.
yeah, 8 weeks. Yeah, but when you first saw her or something, she was just born. I think no.
She was 6 weeks when David saw her.
Okay, 6 weeks. Yeah, it was too young for all that. Anyway, thank you,
Just
everybody.
one question,
Yes.
Brian, how's Leon?
How's my brother?
Yeah,
He's okay. He just called me during the service. So he's gonna call me back later.
okay.
Okay, well, we'll talk about Leon later. Leon is Brian's brother. We can continue to keep him in prayer because he fell last week and Brian couldn't find him. Finally, they were able to go and open his door, and they found that he was just lying on the floor. He couldn't move. So he had a seizure or something had happened, and they took him to the hospital. So we went to see him when we went to visit Dorothy. So keep Dorothy in prayer that she gets for a refuah shalema. Keep Leon in prayer.
Couldn't go to the bathroom. That's why he got.
Yes, Brian. Yes, it's okay. We'll keep our my children just left also to go away to a conference. We'll keep them in prayer. and that your kids, Rhonda, will be safe, and that you'll bond to the dog even more. Because a
He's gonna,
dog,
he's
believe it
gonna,
or not, having a dog and walking with a dog is an opening to meet a lot of people when you
Yeah.
go out. It's incredible.
he's gonna stop that. I got a lot of hope in that person when they told us one day he or she just stopped.
Yeah.
She's, and you said David's going for a little bit of dog training school or whatever.
Yeah, when he gets back next week, the Wednesday after he gets back, he'll have a trainer come in.
So they all come into the house.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Okay, are you gonna be there? Because that would be great.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, great. Okay.
Shashi will be there too.
Oh, that's good.
Hey, Teet, how is your father?
It's the same.
The same?
He's a little bit confused.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's autonomous. He eats by himself.
Okay, good. Good. Holly, how's Matthew doing?
He's good. He's been working, and he started working out, I don't know, 6 weeks ago, and he's been really consistent with that, and that helps him a lot.
Great.
Helps his energy and his mood and everything.
Good.
So yeah, but I mean, we have good days and hard days.
Of course.
And then he worries about me, and I worry about him, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Stages. We talk
Yeah.
about stages in our life. We never know. Like when I saw Dorothy and when she fell and she had the stroke, in one moment her life had changed dramatically. Our lives change dramatically in a moment. So
Yeah.
we just have to appreciate every step of the journey. We never know what's around the corner, but God is with us through it all. And that's the blessing that we have. Like you said, Mauricio, you know, your face shines when you know that. And, you know, sometimes people say that to me, you're shining. And, you know, I don't know what to say to them, because if I say, yeah, it's God, they're going to put me away. You know, I use a new cream. Well, you know, what can you say to people when they don't have God?
You can say joy. Yeah, I guess I just have a lot of joy.
Yeah, I have a joy. Exactly. Peace and joy. And there's not a lot of people who have that today. Everybody is so stressed out. I just listened to a program where they're talking about right now in Africa, in Ethiopia, there's a massacre going on. We don't hear about it. 500,000 people were murdered in the last 2 weeks, and we don't hear about it. And most of them are Christians. You certainly don't hear the Pope speaking about it, or
We hear about the things they want us to hear about.
exactly,
Things
exactly.
they want us to be fearful of.
And they want to keep us in a
And
state of fear.
Don't know what to believe, you know? Like
Yeah.
I was hearing all of these reports of food manufacturing factories and stuff being burned and explosions and all of this stuff. But then you see somebody else saying, well, yeah, that is happening. That's true. But if you look at the stats compared to the previous year, there's actually not an increase at all. So then you wonder, well, why are we hearing about it now? Why do they want us to know about it and be fearful? And they didn't care last year.
Interesting.
It is very interesting. Like, why do they air some stories and not others? I don't know. Like, do they want us to be distracted? Maybe we should be worried, oh no, there's food shortages, but really we should be hearing about these massacres in Ethiopia.
Exactly.
It's horrible.
Yeah, and how they've gone in and burnt their fields so that they have no crop, they have no food, they have no way of getting fresh water. I mean, so many people are dying there, and we don't hear about it.
Awful.
I was wondering what is the meaning of the frame that you have behind you, Holly? It's like a window closed, or it's a frame.
These?
Yeah, this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Oh,
it's from our old house. It's the old window frames, and I just liked them, so we took them. And I'm gonna hang
okay.
them on the wall and then put strings so we can hang pictures and lights, little mini lights.
What a great idea.
Yeah, we just haven't done it yet.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
That'll
So
be
you
beautiful.
paint or
No,
Masei
I'm
paint?
gonna leave it kind of chipped and old looking because I like that style. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's sentimental because it's from our old house.
Oh, yeah,
Is it metal?
I totally get
No,
it.
it's wood with chipped paint on it.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, when I really like something, but I know it's time to let it go, even if it's like I've had some T-shirts or some whatever that were really sentimental. So I cut out part of it. Let's say it has a flower or whatnot, and I'll either put it in one of my I call them scrapbooks, but as kids we called them junk books. We would just put all sorts of things. So I would throw out the old shirt or whatever, or top or skirt, whatever, and I'd put flower or whatever little part of it there, and I would then I would carry it with me.
Ira, I can see you.
Oh, okay.
When kids go to school, they'll make a little craft, and sometimes the teacher laminates it, like they put it through the plastic thing.
Right.
And I hate that. I feel like it's so wasteful because then you throw it in the landfill and it's just going to be there forever. So this year, maybe I need to say, please don't laminate my kids' junk.
Right.
With all of their art, I like to take pictures of it and then just throw it out.
Yeah.
But I don't like it when they laminate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all of you are very creative. You know, I take many things in my house, and especially my wife is always dealing with me because I said, "Oh, this is not good enough, so throw them." And I don't want to accumulate things.
Yeah.
And she wants to recycle things. So we have an opposite ways to see that. You know, it's amazing what you do because when you recycle and do something really nice, it's wow, it's nice. For me, it's because I don't have that imagination to do that.
Me neither. I throw everything.
But you're creating a nice, open, clean space by throwing all the junk out.
That's great.
You're a minimalist and I'm a maximalist.
Yeah. we need both.
Clara, my sister, she's so creative in the way she sews and does things. She'll take like an old T-shirt and it will look like I can't even describe what she does to it. Puts a couple of buttons and twists and whatever, and it looks like a beautiful designer retro. Like she really is talented with doing things like that. You know.
Yeah.
Mildred, could you hear us?
Star 6.
Well, she may be sleeping by now. So we say again, good afternoon, Shabbat Shalom. May God bless us and protect us. May He shine His face upon us and show His mercy to us and give us His Shalom for the day and for every day. So thank you again, Alejandro. Thank you, Mauricio, for your input, both of you. Our wonderful teachers were so blessed. And we'll see you again, God willing, next Shabbat, if all goes well. Thank you, everyone.
Shabbat
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.